Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool Football Club 0. An embarrassing day for the Merseysiders, a humbling day for Jurgen Klopp. What a result for Cooper and Nottingham Forest. They return to the big time. They get their biggest result since getting promoted, and they thoroughly, 110% deserve that today. It was out of this world. They defended like heroes. They won the midfield battle. They created the better chances. Henderson in goal was an absolute colossus. Yates in the middle. Lingard with a cameo. What a performance. What a win for Nottingham Forest. And Liverpool Football Club, back-to-back wins against City and West Ham. And I said to you after West Ham, the problems are still there. The holes are still there. The issues are still there. But you thought I was hating. I'm not hating. The question is, why go back to a higher line that has been continuously exposed all season? It's not the personnel. It's the system more than anything else. It really, really is. And Liverpool fans will be disappointed and they will be frustrated. But we want to hear from you now on the show. We're going to get the link out very soon. We're sure the boys will be joining us in a few moments. Get those super chats in as well. KJ will make sure they're starred so we don't miss any. But it's an embarrassing day for Liverpool. It is fundamentally a embarrassing day indeed for Liverpool Football Club. It truly, truly is. Off subject really quickly, John Fitzpatrick, Terry, why are you afraid to debate Stelios or Stel? It was arranged for Thursday night. He pulled out because he said he was too tired. So it's being done next week. So just get your facts straight there, my friend. But I want to know what you thought and you felt about this game. For me, I'm shocked. As bad as Liverpool have been this season, this is Forest. This is a gimme. No one in the top 6 should be dropping points to Nottingham Forest this year. Yeah, the fact that they bought 25 new players, they've just been promoted to this league, the way they've started, this shouldn't have happened. But they were better, in my opinion, in every single area of the football pitch. I may be missing it here. The only 2 clear-cut chances I felt Liverpool had were the headers from Van Dijk. Should be scoring both. The second, Henderson pulls off maybe the save of the season. And without Alisson at the other end, by the way, he's the only Liverpool player that walks away with any kind of credibility today. This could have been 3 or 4. Liverpool could have got beat 3 or 4-0 today. Or it could have been 3-1 or 4-2. They were comprehensively beaten by a relegation team. A team that is most likely going to get relegated from the Premier League this year. It almost makes a mockery of the West Ham and Man City wins in many ways. Because it's the same mistakes. The high line. Again and again and again. And people will say, well, the goal didn't come from the high line. Well, it did because Gomez got turned because of the high line and brought your man down. And your man, whose name I should know, and I don't. Who's the goal scorer? What's his name? Awani. That's the guy. Sorry, I didn't know his name. I apologize massively if it slipped out my mind. That was because the line was high. Liverpool against Man City, the best they've played all season. Why? Because they were 10, 15 yards deeper. This is arrogance now. It isn't working. Change your system. Otherwise, you write your... In fact, you've already written your season off. You cannot win the league now. That's season over for Liverpool. League is done. 110% cannot be won. Top 4 is still on mathematically in a very, very big way. But to continue performing like this, to keep conceding that first goal, so regularly is going to absolutely ruin Liverpool. And it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's the high line. And I want to hear from Liverpool fans. I want some honesty from Liverpool fans on this. How are you feeling about the way you're playing and performing? Let's go to some of your comments here. Neeks here said Nottingham Forest had 5 big chances. They did. They were out and out the better team in this game. No doubt about it whatsoever. Jake here says title challenge over. I think the title challenge was already over for Liverpool before this game. This probably cements it in many, many ways. Gerard, please relegate them. I'm not too sure what that means. Sack Klopp for Gerrard is what Dineshane says here. I'm seeing a lot of Gerrard in from a lot of Liverpool fans at the minute, which is interesting considering how bad he's been as of late. Igal come outside. Again, I don't understand why you're saying this, but Igal says come outside. Let's look at some more of your comments here. Gomez lost the ball in possession. But why did he have to drag him down? Because the line is so high. Every mistake, and people can try and twist it any which way they want, but this Liverpool team is consistently conceding goals because of where their line is. Whether it be a mistake in possession with a high line, a ball over the top, or a foul conceded through one of those situations, and then the set piece therefore after, it is the same reason. When you were sitting deep against City, were you getting played through? That's by City, by the way. Imagine you were 20 yards deeper against this team and built out from the back properly. Klopp's got to change it because right now at Liverpool, it isn't working. And he changed it for a game and was brilliant. It's mad to me that he went back the other way, in my humble opinion. Liverpool fighting for the Europa Conference League is what Jelly Spoon says here. Daniel here says, pathetic, not even a shock anymore. Forest deserve credit. They were vibrant, but all sideways, no creativity. This team is rotten. I'll age by May. Look, I will say about Liverpool, of course, they had Darwin Núñez out today, Thiago out, Luis Diaz is out, Jota is out. However, the team that started does any of those Forest players get into the Liverpool team that started today? The answer is no. Would you swap your manager? No. There's nothing about Forest that you would take at Liverpool right now, barring 3 points today. So there isn't, it's not a good enough excuse. Plus, and I'm going to dig some people out here. When Jurgen Klopp's team were in their pomp, I was told, well, when a manager has a true system, it doesn't matter what players are in or out your team because the system prevails. The system prevails. When they were beating minnows in League Cups and FA Cups last year, that's because the system works. It is deeply entrenched. You do not have an excuse. If you got beat by Chelsea today or Man United or Arsenal with 3 or 4 of your first team players out, I get it. But Nottingham Forest, never an excuse. Conceding the first goal, and I'm not making this up, it might not be completely accurate, but conceding the first goal in 80 to 90% of your last 25 games, that's a system problem, not a personnel problem. Liverpool fans, stand up for your football club and fight back. Terry, send the link. Home truths are much needed. KJ is going to send the link out now in the live comment section and get that done. I'm sorry, even Champions League is gone, is what AMT has got to say here. I'm not sure if that's completely gone yet. There's still a long way to go. They can turn this round, but Klopp has got to change something. And I said last week, for what it's worth, well done, Klopp. He's absolutely spot on to change things, turn things around. And then he reverts back to type. It ain't on. Winnerpool here says, we have a ton of injuries, but I blame Klopp today. I'm glad at last, Winnerpool, to see you grow a backbone, step outside of communist Merseyside and tell us what you really, really think. It is on Jurgen Klopp today. Me blaming Jurgen Klopp doesn't mean he isn't a world-class manager. Doesn't mean he isn't one of the best in the world. Doesn't undo all these brilliant achievements. It means right now he's making mistakes. Simple and as straightforward as that. You know, once upon a time, Rafa Benitez was a hero, but when things started to go wrong, he was rightfully criticized. You know, Kenny Dalglish is arguably the greatest legend across players and management Liverpool have ever had. Maybe. In the top 5, definitely. But when he come back as a second time as manager and wasn't cutting the mustard, you said, come on, let's criticize. You can't hold... I'm not saying you've got to say Klopp out. Klopp out, I think, is wrong right now. But no Klopp criticism. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. You're damaging your football club by doing that. That's all you're doing is damaging Liverpool Football Club by doing that. Simple and as straightforward as that for me. And I've always felt that way, and I won't change my mind, no doubt about it. Why a lot of people keep asking for Gerrard in, I don't believe you will. Liverpool's demise is beautiful. I love it as a Chelsea fan, is what Igor has got to say here. And listen, rivals are going to bask in this. Rivals are going to love this. Rivals are going to... They're going to be rubbing their hands, and they should be. They should be rubbing their hands at this. Why would you not rub your hands at this as a rival watching Liverpool scupper, especially as it opens up a position? Liverpool were a shoo-in for the top 4. They no longer are, which means every other club is rubbing their hands together saying, we're going to take that place. We want to take that place. Let's do some more comments here. Without Alisson, this is from Tariq. He says, without Alisson, we would be in the relegation battle. Listen, the saves he made today, colossal. And I remember Ram, who was actually backstage, said last year he should have been player of the season. And we all kind of scoffed at him. This season, he's been Liverpool's best player without a shadow of a doubt. Sensational. Absolutely sensational. From quad to top 6 is what GG Galaxy has got to say here. Rack says, as an Arsenal fan, I just think Klopp has to start working on his defense again to rebuild. Something is wrong when you always concede first. And that's absolutely right. And I look, part of that is personnel, of course, but it's the system. All systems eventually get found out. All styles of play eventually get found out. Everything does. Have you noticed that nobody refers to Pep Guardiola's Man City as tiki-taka football? Because tiki-taka had its day, and then it was beaten. You know, how many managers use wide left and right midfielders anymore in a 4-4-2 as a consistent formation? It got found out. And in fairness, it hasn't even really had a resurgence. A lot of managers start off by playing 3 at the back. 3 at the back, even with world-class managers, typically lasts, a year, 18 months until it gets found out. All systems have a validity period. You have to adapt. You have to change. And Jurgen Klopp is not doing it, and he is costing Liverpool. And Liverpool fans have to call him out. You don't have to say he's got to be sacked, but to not call him out, I want to call it as it is. You not doing that tells me you support Klopp more than your football club. Facts. I'm sorry, Elliot isn't good enough. Don't want to hear the good for his age argument. He does nothing in games and needs to start delivering. I've heard a lot of Liverpool fans say this. My view on him is he passes the eye test every single football match, but is he a footballer? Or should he be the third wheel in F2 freestyle? Looking good with no end product is pointless. It is pointless. He's basically a dick tease. That's what it is. I agree with that comment. I watch him and it looks good, but nothing happens. He did have a good ball today to Carvalho, to be fair, but one in a game ain't enough. That's got to be... You're playing Forest. Come on now. Stuart Downing in the mud. Absolutely in the mud, no doubt. Listen, viewers, do me a big favor and smash the like button. Whether you're happy with the result or not today, you're obviously on this platform for a reason. Give it a big fat smash on that like button. Now, to get this stream past 1,000 likes while we are live on the air, that'd be brilliant if you could. Neek says, Elliot is good, not great. Curtis Jones is pants. We've got some rivals coming on as well. I've just seen Kaz backstage. Hey! Let's do some calls first, and then I'm going to bring Ram out. I'm going to bring Tom Little out. First up on the show, Kurdish is coming on to speak to us now to have his say. I'm assuming he's a Liverpool fan. What are you saying, mate?
Yes, Terry. How you doing, bro? Long time. You okay?
Yeah, I know, mate. I'm good. Look, another embarrassing defeat. The high line exposed again. More drop points. Give me your thoughts. What's going wrong?
You notice I only come here when we lose. I never come on when we win. I only come on when we lose. Do you know what it is, Terry? Forget everything. I'm here to call out Tom Little. I'm here to call out Tom. And let me tell you why. I was on a space earlier before the game, and Tom Little jumped on the space, and he was very confident. Not even confident, arrogant in his way of saying, it's early Forest. We're going to win today. Every Liverpool fan in that space was worried about the lineup. We were worried about the bench. Tom comes in and just goes, nope, we're going to win comfortably. So that's the first part. The second part, I'm in a group with Tom on Twitter, again, Liverpool page. And for the last week, I've been hearing Curtis Jones prop. I've been hearing Curtis Jones is this, Curtis Jones is that. Did we see Curtis Jones in the first 45 minutes?
Curtis, just to say quickly, Tom Little's here. You can say it to his face. Tom's here. Tom is here.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, mate.
So me and Tom have been going at it for the last 45 minutes about Fabinho and Curtis Jones, and for the last 45 minutes I've been hearing, and for the last week I've been hearing Curtis Jones prop.
Yeah.
Tom, come on, mate. It's been 4 years.
I asked you the question an hour ago, and I'm still waiting for an answer. Who was better today, Jones or Fabinho?
What you're asking here is,
it doesn't need more than one word. It needs a one-word answer. Jones or Fabinho.
They're both terrible. They were both terrible. But
who was better today? Who was better today? That's all my point was. Who was better today?
But that's no. But that's not your point. For the last week, you've been giving him prop.
God.
No. For the last week, you've been giving him prop, and then he played today, and you saw the stinker he dropped, and now you're changing your stance to. But Fabinho dropped a stinker as well. You can't change your stance.
My stance has not changed. My stance hasn't changed, mate. I'm simply asking you, who was better today, Curtis Jones or Fabinho?
For the last week, you've been giving him prop. So I'm asking you,
God.
what did he do today? You've been giving Curtis Jones prop for the last 7 days. I need to understand what justification you have to be giving Curtis Jones prop. What has he done for 4 years? 4 years that he's been with us. What has he done to deserve any prop? I'm asking you that question because I can tell you what Fabinho has done to deserve prop. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
but
fucking
you
3
can't tell
years
me
ago.
what Curtis Jones.
Guess what, Curtis, mate? We're not in 2019 anymore. We're in fucking 2022. The man is a dump truck. He got ran rings round by Ryan Yates. Who the fuck is Ryan Yates?
Yes, Tom.
Ryan Yates?
Curtis Jones has been shit for 4 years. You're talking about this season specifically. I get that. Mate. Let's talk about 4 years.
Mate, why are you so insistent on credit in the bank?
Let's talk about
credit in the bank. We're on credit in the bank basis.
You're saying your logic is because one person's shit, the other person's better. No, they can both be shit.
God. Right,
they can both be shit.
I said it 4 different times in the group chat. I'll say it live now. Curtis Jones was not good today.
He's not been good for 4 years. 4 years.
I'm not on about the past 4 years. I'm on about today. Curtis Jones was not good today. Fabinho was awful. If you can't sit there and realise that today Curtis Jones was better than Fabinho, then I'm sorry, it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is for the last week, I have been listening to you give Curtis Jones prop. Now today, you come on here and early in the group, your stand changes from Curtis Jones prop to all of a sudden, but at least he's not been shit as Fabinho. At least Fabinho, I know in the last 4 years, has done a few things. I'm asking you,
Steven Gerrard was our top scorer 8 years ago.
You're missing my question. I'm asking you, you've been giving him prop for a week. What has he done in 4 years? Has he developed? No. Can he? Does he slow down the game? Yes. The only thing that Curtis Jones I hear all the time is Curtis Jones's press resistance. Yeah, he beats the first press, slows the game down, and concedes a foul. This is Curtis Jones.
I tell you what, mate. That's more than fucking Fabinho done today. So I'm taking what I can get. I'm taking what I can get because he was better than Fabinho.
All of a sudden, we're supposed to be happy.
Who we got in midweek? Ajax. I'm starting Curtis Jones over Fabinho against Ajax.
You're absurd. 100%. You're absurd. If two players are shit, if two players are shit, my bro, if two players are shit, you take the one who has a little bit credit. It's not all of a sudden they're both terrible.
Oh my God, his credit. He's in his overdraft with credit. He's in his overdraft.
Curtis Jones has been in his overdraft for 4 seasons.
Like, you've got nothing left. Start performing on the pitch. Not a single performance this season, barring 20 minutes against Manchester City, has Fabinho been good. It is like, I will put it this way, Curtis Jones versus Fabinho is like asking which of these two fellas do I want to go around with me misses. None of them. I don't want any of them to do it. But if I've got to pick one, I'm going with the one who's not been as bad. And Curtis Jones has not been as bad as Fabinho this season.
On what merit are you choosing Curtis Jones over Fabinho? On what merit?
God.
Because personally I think Fabinho's done. Fabinho's done.
You've just established that both Curtis Jones and Fabinho are shit. But I'm asking you, at least we know if Fabinho has a good game, he turns up. We know that Curtis Jones doesn't have good games, barely ever. So I'm asking you, on what merit are you choosing Curtis Jones over Fabinho when both are shit, as you've just said?
Because they're both crap. But at least Curtis Jones hasn't done it for the whole season. You're saying if Fabinho has a good game and if Fabinho turns up and if Fabinho passes the ball and if he doesn't turn like a fucking dump truck, we get a good game. He's not done that this season.
Curtis Jones hasn't done it for 4 years. There's the difference.
I don't give a crap if Curtis Jones... Curtis Jones is not a world-class midfielder. Curtis Jones, I do not expect performances of a world-class midfielder from a left winger turned DM. I expect them from a DM turned DM. He has not done it this season, and he plays because he's got credit in the bank.
More than Curtis Jones. This is horrendous.
Credit in the bank is so crap.
Guys, great argument. Look, obviously we've got some panelists here as well. We've got man like Adam Charles back on the terrace. It's always nice to see you, brother. Kaz has joined us here for some rival perspective, but Ram is here. Long time no see, Ram. Another embarrassing day for Liverpool. And I want to ask you a question. Is this on Jurgen Klopp for continuing with this disastrous high line?
It's on a lot of things. I do apologize. I think there might be an echo because of housework, but it's on everybody. I need to say a damning stat right here. We haven't won an away game this season. That's appalling. That's down to Jurgen Klopp. That's down to the players. And that's down to the coaching staff. Like, we've actually turned into mentality midgets right now. We have. There's no desire in any of our players. And on today's performance, is all on Klopp, in my opinion. I think we knew what Nottingham Forest were going to do. I knew it from the start. They're not going to play expansive football. They're not going to go out and try and outplay us. They're going to sit back and soak up as much pressure. And the players that we played today, I don't think decision. I didn't think James Milner should have played. I don't care if Trent Alexander-Arnold has been poor defensively. He has that quality at the end of the day to break down a low block, and we should have used as much quality as possible. But the real main problem I had was, in a game like this, we needed to score one of our set pieces, and Virgil van Dijk had 4 gilt-edged opportunities, and he should have scored one of them. Minimum. Fair enough. The last Dean Henderson decided to become David De Gea, prime David De Gea, and save every single shot. But that first one, I'm sorry. You're one of the best headers of the ball. You're meant to put that on top. You're meant to give it to Firmino, because Firmino was playing catch up from the get-go. So that I can't excuse. And look, the high line is a factor. It's a factor because all our fullbacks have been pushed up. Joe Gomez has no one to play it to. And that doesn't give Joe Gomez the right to dilly-dally on the ball and give it away. But it's a factor. And we have to acknowledge the fact that on today's performance alone, Jurgen Klopp has to take the bulk of the blame, in my opinion. And the mentality of our players is absolutely shocking.
Listen, I agree with you. Listen, you missed chances, there's no doubt. But you haven't won an away game all season. I don't know the actual stat on this, but I feel like the vast majority of your games in the last 6 months, you've conceded the first goal on. Whether you've got players injured, and this is the thing, the injury excuse is wearing thin now, even with the communist Reds, because whether you've got a full-strength squad or injuries, the same stuff happens. That, to me, says that it is systemic, which means it's internal. And for me, I think Liverpool are on a decline now, and without proper investment and rejuvenation of this squad, I don't think Klopp can turn it around. We're going to go to Kaz and Adam. I want to get a rival's point of view. Kaz, what you saying, bruv?
It's a beautiful day. They just gave me a free painkiller, because whatever the result is later with Chelsea, I don't actually care anymore, because you guys made my day better. You know, they need to start looking into these 12:30 games, because it's absolutely sinister that they can go 12:30 games can absolutely ruin your whole weekend, and it's ruined all your guys' weekends. And also on this, what's his? I don't know what's his name up at the top in the middle.
Kurdish.
Kurdish. Assalamu alaikum. What's it called? What's it called? On top of that, it's like Ronaldo's been great for the last 4 years, great, but this season, what's Rashford got over him? That's the next question.
I get that, bro. I get that, bro. I get that. I completely understand Tom's point when he says Fabinho is shit, and I completely appreciate that at the moment. But what I'm calling Tom out on isn't the Fabinho factor. It's the fact for the last week, there's been 2 people in our group chat on the Liverpool Twitter page, which is Tom and a chap called Ariam, and they have been giving Curtis Jones prop for the last week. Yeah. And the only thing I'm saying is, at least you can look at Fabinho and say he has a little bit of credit in the bank.
Curtis Jones for 4 years. One sec, Tom. I'm going to ask him a question.
Nothing.
I've got a question.
He's been doing nothing for 4 years. He's not developed as a player. He's not technically good enough. He has no speed to play on the wing. So I don't understand this argument for him to play on the wing. He's technically incompetent to be a professional footballer for a top 8 club. He is a Watford, Southampton level player at best. This is a fact. This
Can I ask you a question,
black and
then?
white.
Can I ask you one more question? Like,
Of
other
course,
than
bro.
Virgil van der Klein, yeah. Can you answer me this? Who was better today? Then, just for Tom's sake, who was
Who
better
was better
today?
than Curtis Jones today?
No,
I
no, no,
said-
no,
I
no, no,
said
no, no.
earlier-
Wait, whoa. Hey, this is my segment. Who's better today, Fabinho or Curtis Jones?
They were both shit. You can't call good when the only two players that can leave that stadium with their head high for Liverpool are James Milner and Alisson. The rest of them dropped 2 out of 10s, including Mohamed Salah. So let's not just put Fabinho in here. Mohamed Salah, Robert Firmino, Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Andy Robertson.
They've had good
They've
performances
all
this
scored.
season. They've had good performances this season. They've at least turned up for one game in 2022-23. Fabinho hasn't. He's been ran round by Fulham. He's been ran round by Palace. He's been ran round by Newcastle. He's been ran round by everyone but Kevin De Bruyne. So you know what?
Right.
Let's just play Man City every week because that's the only game our team turn up for.
I agree with you. I agree with everything you just said. But in the same breath, you can't then just say all that because for one season he's not turned up, which is this season, and in the same position say, so we should start Curtis Jones in again. Because Curtis Jones hasn't turned up this season. He didn't turn up last season. He didn't turn
This
up the
is his
season
first
before.
start of
And
the
he didn't
season?
turn up the
Oh
season
my
before
God.
either. So it's
Oh
not
my
like
God.
Curtis Jones has come in. It's not like it's not like Curtis Jones has not been playing well for 3 years, but then this season he's been superior to Fabinho. Curtis Jones has been an average player for the last 4 years, including this year when he's played. I know he's not played much, but when he's played.
So before stating the 30 minutes Curtis Jones has played this season, he's been an average player. What has Fabinho been this season? And I'm sorry, I'm not buying the credit in the bank argument because the credit in the bank argument doesn't pertain that someone can just dramatically fall off. What Fabinho has done
You
this
guys,
season.
the problem isn't Curtis Jones or Fabinho. You hit the nail on the head right there, Tom, when you said our players only turned up for Manchester City. That is a mentality issue.
I disagree. No, I don't disagree. I agree to a point. But you played better in that game because you sat 20 yards deeper. Your players, not the young uns, too many of your players are over the hill physically. It happens to all of us. I bought a new car that's very low to the ground. I mean, I'm getting rid of it. I'm getting backache, right? Because I'm old. My body doesn't like being in that position. Legitimately, Van Dijk and these men are too old. You have to sit deeper now. And you see, it's Jurgen Klopp is creating the problems. He's not adapting. When players get past a certain vintage, you have to change how you use them. He's trying to make 29, 30, 31-year-old players play like they're 25. It isn't going to work. I want to hear from Adam Charles next. Obviously, long time no speak, brother. I hope you're well. What you saying, my guy?
I'm all right. I'm a bit ill, but there's nothing like a Liverpool loss to make me feel a bit better, man. Honestly, it's so beautiful to see you lot upset. And I mean that with the most sincerity because, yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I do.
He does. I can hear it in his voice. Can you not hear it? Come on.
Listen.
I can hear it, man.
But I think you said your name's Kurdish. I think,
Yeah.
bro, I actually agree with you. I think there's a lot of people that said that Curtis Jones is, I think the phrase that I was told was he's a generational talent. And like, when I heard it at the time, I thought that doesn't sound right. And ever since then, he's done his best to prove that he is not a generational talent. And Tom, I get you. I don't really think that Fabinho's been fantastic this season. I agree with you. But I do think that without him, it could be worse. And I don't really know who else would take his place, bro.
Jordan Henderson.
And Henderson in that role.
But he's been better than Fabinho, and he does the exact same thing as him right now.
Can I just preface this with something? Can I just preface this with something? The prop that I've been getting around for, the Curtis Jones prop, I said he's our fourth best midfielder. That was the prop that I was giving him.
He's not.
I gave him prop by saying he's better than Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's our worst midfielder. Sound, yeah.
He's our worst midfielder. It goes in order.
Anyway,
Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson. Then you're probably looking at. I would probably. Our choices are so limited. Naby Keita. I would then have Ox over him. I would have James Milner over him. Then I would have Harvey Elliott, and then I'd have Curtis Jones.
He's definitely our fourth best available one.
So Curtis Jones is technically about as gifted as Tom Cleverley. Let that sink in.
Oh,
He's
wait,
the
can you
level
repeat?
of
Can you say that? Wait,
Watford
one. Can you say that again,
Of
please?
Southampton.
Can
What do you want me
you
to
make
say?
that comparison? No,
Bro, we had Liverpool. Do you know what Curtis Jones has? Do we know what Curtis Jones has? Let me tell you what Curtis Jones has. Scouse benefits. People love him because he's a Scouser, right? But actually, and they say he should be in the team because he's homegrown. But you look at his footballing ability, the man has not developed in 4 years. How can you stay? How can you stay to the same level as you were when you were in the academy for 4 years? We had people comparing him to Phil Foden. Do you realize how crazy that is?
Yeah.
Do you realize? Come on.
It's nuts. I think I do feel like you like are focusing your attention on the wrong stuff though. The main thing should be why the hell did you not sign a midfielder or just more reinforcements, bro? Like,
No, Adam, we did. Remember, we did.
Henderson and all of this and that.
Adam, we did sign a midfielder. We did. We signed a midfielder.
You did. So Ram, you might be being sarcastic, but panic buying a bang average croc on the deadline day is not buying a midfielder. But the problem is with Liverpool. The problem is with Liverpool, and I've said it for years, and it's why we have a very strong Liverpool base on the football terrace. And the reason they're here and they're not elsewhere is because most Liverpool, the big Liverpool accounts and Twitter accounts and creators and journalists, they don't call your club out. They don't hold them to task. Man United fans, we don't like our owners. They were going to give us Arnautovic and Rabiot, and we pushed back and they changed, right? And some results. If it was Liverpool, I'm not even going to name them, certain content creators and certain journalists would have found a way to spin that into a positive. They would have found a way to spin it into, what's going to happen is Rabiot's going to come in, and we've heard a rumor that his mum is going to open a daycare center for all the kids' players, which means there's going to be stress relief, which means everybody's going to improve. They would make up some bullshit like that. This is partly on Liverpool fans as well for not pushing back. You've always got to push back. And what annoys me about Liverpool fans is you're the working class city. You're the pioneers of working class protests in this country for me. But you let your billionaire owners walk all over you.
But Terry, you forgot though that we had a bad 6 months under Hodgson.
Tom, not when it's ticket prices, not when it's a Super League, but when it's how the club runs day to day in terms of on the field stuff. You roll over and have your bellies tickled. You're brilliant when they say the wrong thing, when they do the Super League, when they try and charge you too much. As soon as they tell you that this squad's good enough, you go, oh, definitely is. No, fight back. It's not about being sensationalist online or reactionary. It's about getting what you need out your football club. You've got so much money and they act like they're poor. We can't compete. Fuck off. You're billionaires. Of course you can compete. Your owners are worth £10 billion. Liars. Charlatans.
I'll call them out. Redmen TV, Spirits of Shankly, James Pearce. I don't know who else. Neil Burton or whatever his name is. All of you have to take accountability for what's happening this season. I came on here last month and I said it. Jurgen Klopp has been papering over the cracks for the last 4 seasons in a row. He has been papering over the cracks. There, you can see the problems. You could see this midfield needed developing and needed a level of evolution to come through for the last 3 seasons. Call them out. You don't want to call them out, bro. Redmen TV, Paul Mage, whatever your name is, Spirit of Shankly, whoever you are.
James. LeBron James. It's on you. You fucking netball playing mug. Do you know what I mean? Get out of here with your fake sport. It's not a real sport.
Let me ask you a quick question though. At what point do you call out Jurgen Klopp? Like, at what point do you say that it's over? You might need to move on.
Never.
Oh. That's
dangerous.
Never.
Can I explain myself? So as I came.
Has he frozen?
FSG have got to him. They've got to him. Yeah, they call out and got to him.
As he leaves us, actually, we're gonna do some super chats in a minute. Zane is here with us now. What are you saying, Zane?
Yo, what's up, guys? Yeah.
Why are you smiling?
What are people crying for?
What do you mean? Are you happy you lost?
No, I'm just thinking it's an exaggeration. Look, we're knackered. I keep saying this, man.
It's an exaggeration. You just got beat by a relegation team. You got beat by a relegation team, Zane.
Again, if you look at the history, we haven't been successful at that ground for ages. So I take a lot
Bro, it's
into that
20
kind of
years
stuff.
ago, man.
Right.
And what? And what? And what?
Years ago.
And what? Let me finish my point before you lot jump in, man. Shut up and relax it, bro. Let me finish my point.
Grey hair.
I got grey beard actually, but yeah. Anyway.
Fuck.
Still, but from my point of view, right, this is a game where Virgil van Dijk missed 2 blatant sitters. He should have scored 2 goals, right? So everyone's gonna cry and bitch and moan, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, we lost, but we had the chance, clear chances, not one of those half chances, right?
Shoulda, coulda,
So
woulda.
from my point of view, I wanna just say, relax. We're gonna get shit sorted. Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal. Best be scared, bro. Once we get in a rhythm, we're going. And you might.
Oh my god!
We've
just lost it.
Zayn, that was meant to be against City, mate.
To win the title this season. So got
Zayn, that was meant to be against
Shut
City.
one of your records, bro. You're dead, Man United. You're history FC, bro. You're gonna.
Wait, whoa. Wait, is your name Adam, by the way? Adam. Is it Adam?
Me?
No, it's Zayn.
Yeah, what's he say his name? No, not your name. I'm not. You're a Liverpool
Adam
fan.
Charles, yeah.
Adam Charles, Mr. Adam Charles. You're a United fan.
No, I'm Arsenal.
No, he's an Arsenal fan.
You know what? I can't
He's
say
come
that
out
you're
the
top of the
hiding
league.
now.
I can't say that to them. They're top of the league. Respect. But what's it called?
Zayn, what did you see today that was positives? What did you see from that performance today where you're
There's
sitting
only
there
one
going, that's a
answer.
positive?
Only
It
one
highlights
answer.
Nunes is not such a bad player because I think we missed him today. As I was saying, KJ, if you listen in the background, what did I say about Nunes? He's a decent player, rough diamond. If Nunes was playing,
Nunes is ass.
maybe he would have put 1 or 2 away. He would have caused some chaos. You know, they were sitting back. So
Can I give some
So
reality? Can I give some reality?
So
It's
you're
not
positive
the right
today.
answer.
You're positive today from Liverpool losing 1-0 to Nottingham Forest, bottom of the league, haven't won since the second game week of the season is Darwin Nunes might have scored.
So what
Angry
I'm telling
Carroll.
you is, as I've called out, because you keep doing these.
Right, guys, I want to ask some questions. I want to ask some questions and bring this back. We obviously know that, there's some player issues we've kind of gone through. Neeks put a comment in saying, can we talk about how bad Gomez was again? Is this a case of
please do.
maybe some of your players, the Gomez's, the Joneses, the Elliots of this world, they're maybe just not as good as their young talent promised 2, 3, 4 years ago?
100%.
Gomez again today, he had that one good game against City. Ironically, when you're sitting deeper, when he's got more protection, as soon as you expose your players, they're outplayed by relegation fodder. Like what's going on?
Can I just say about the Joe Gomez thing? Hang on, Tom. Can I say about the Joe Gomez thing? From the way I see it, Joe Gomez had his injuries and that stunted his growth, whatever. But whenever he does something good, he ends up doing something completely stupid. So, like West Ham, for example, he had a very good first half until he decided to try and bulldoze Jared Bowen and concede a penalty. Like, I've been a massive fan of Joe Gomez when he first came through, when he showed that promise in 2018, 19, 19, 20. But sometimes just the things that he does, his decision-making at times is absolutely shocking. Like, there was no need to dilly-dally on the ball. If there's no one open, pass it to Van Dijk, let Van Dijk do his thing. But clearly he thinks he can play football as good as Van Dijk.
Do you know what Joe Gomez is? Joe Gomez is a bottom half defender. If you don't give him anything to worry about, let me explain it.
Don't talk about it like that. That's my friend. I grew up with him. Don't do that. Let
me explain it. I'm not saying his ability level is bottom half. I'm saying his mentality. If you don't give him anything to do in the first 5 minutes defensively, he switches off. And it won't happen straight away. But come 40th, 50th, 60th minute, he just does something that you're sitting there going, why on earth have you done that? If you don't make him switch on straight away, he'll turn himself off as the game goes on, and then it will cost you. Jones,
it's not his fault, though. That game wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
He was the one who gave the foul away for the free kick.
Wait, one second. I remember he scanned his head. I remember him scanning his head. Milner was in a place where he didn't need to be. Your midfielder didn't want to show for him either because they're pressing. I don't remember Robertson being in a position he was. Like, there was nothing there. Don't blame it on one player.
My rebuttal.
Stop taking accountability. It's
Who
Klopp.
blamed it on one? Who
Kaz,
said that and said this game is on Joe Gomez and Joe Gomez only? The goal was on Joe Gomez. There is no need to make that foul. Just kick it back to your goalkeeper if you're that scared. If you're that scared about the pressure,
because
the Tybo
your defense can't
Awoniyi
defend.
is putting on you.
Your
Pass it
defense
back to
can't
your
defend,
goalie.
and it's Joe Gomez's fault. Yeah, fouls get put in everywhere, but someone should have been at the back post. Who was at the back post? Because
you
he
know
won't trend. Because if he goes back post, he gets done like he did in the Champions League
Guys, you know
final.
what was funny? I think that was Fabinho's man, you know?
It was
but-
the back post. The back post. You know what it is, yeah? With Liverpool fans, you talk about history
back
FC,
post,
Zane,
it
yeah?
didn't go to
You know
the
what?
back post.
No. I'm talking about the back. When I'm talking about the back
No,
of the,
when it was the corner, it was either
was
Robertson
Costa
or
Rica.
Fabinho, one of
No,
them.
but what
Anyways,
I'm gonna
you
say,
say about
guys-
history
there's so
FC,
many
Zane, yeah?
moments.
You say history FC, yeah, but you've not seen the same kind of content. Like FSG are the new Glazers. You just don't know it yet. All I'm gonna say to you, yeah?
Like I said,
No.
when Man City
You're
win
gonna
the
have
third
harsh
title,
reality. You're
You've
gonna have harsh
got
reality.
one record left, which is the treble, and when that gun's gone, you're done. You're done.
Wait,
You're
wait,
done
one
and
sec. Do your history because we've done it twice. They haven't done it once. So what now?
They're going to do it. They're going to be the greatest Premier League
Hey,
team.
you've had
Facts.
one-
They're going to be the greatest Premier League team.
Oh, they're going
Facts.
to be.
You're
Why are
done.
you switching
Your
to wait
99
one sec?
team's done.
It's
Bye-bye.
fine. It's not done because it's not
It
done
is.
because
It's
Zane,
over.
like
Take
Alex
reality
Ferguson,
back
like
to
Alex
life.
Ferguson.
Back to reality. Your history.
But this is ironic because it's ironic because it's coming back to you. It's coming back to you because, like Alex Ferguson, paper the cracks for us. Klopp is papering the cracks for you, and you're going to see it more and more. And your recruitment looks like more wank and more wank. And now you got Angry
Okay.
Carroll that you're going to have to
on the
upload as
recruitment,
well.
right? On the recruitment, yes.
Dead.
I
Dead.
this on a joke.
Dead
Klopp hasn't
food.
helped the situation because he's very specific on the type of players. Let's keep it real. Tuchemini was the choice, but he went for Madrid, so that fucked up.
Because no one,
And
because he
obviously,
realised it.
But there's other options than Schumanni. There are so many different options than Schumanni.
as I
You
said,
can find.
Klopp
You
is
just
very
call him
specific
Guys, sorry,
on
everyone,
the type of players.
Guys, sorry. Who is Tuchel-Meni?
Hey, you get
The next
this, right?
manager.
Anyway, I
The
don't
next
think so.
manager.
Who he is?
Anyway,
Guys, I've got some super chat. I've got some super chat to do here. The first one says, "I'm sorry, Elliot isn't good enough. Don't want to hear he's good for his age argument. He does nothing in the game and needs to start delivering." Up the Arsenal. Love the content, mate. F off Spurs is what Sean Beggs has got to say there. Top man, thank you. I've got a lot of Arsenal following recently, which has been great. Terry, if it was like when Man United lost to Sheffield United, listen, just as embarrassing. I've been where Liverpool fans are today. It is painful. There's Rax stroking Klopp's ego. A voice of reason says sorry. Story of the week was why are City calling Klopp a xenophobe when it should have been why is Klopp making excuses for FSG not spending money? Well, Pep actually burned Klopp massively yesterday when he said in his press conference about Klopp says he can't compete with you. He just turned around and said, "Well, I must have a lot more faith in his players than he does," and
he was
there's an
talking.
element
He
in
was,
that as
he was
well.
talking about. He was talking about the title race. He was talking about the title race.
Yeah, but still,
Does anyone think
Klopp
Liverpool's in the title race?
has said publicly now that he doesn't think you're as good as Man City. That's not a good message to send to your dressing room.
No, but
Can I say something as well,
The
Terry?
question was about the title race, and no one thinks Liverpool in the title race apart from Pep.
Can I say something as well? It's funny,
that
yeah,
about
mate.
belief?
It's
Not really.
funny. It's funny how, yeah, now similar this sounds to United. Like, just quick one. I know you're doing your super chats. It's like, what if you won today? You're not gonna call out your owners. It's like Man United fans, right? When we win or we don't say nothing, but when we lose, we all start blaming the owners. What are you lot doing now? Your era of 7 years dominance that you got is pathetic. I'm just saying that. You just sound exactly like us.
Delo here says Michael Edwards was the secret after all. Listen, do you know what's crazy about the modern day game? Managers of old, Shankleys, Fergies, Cloughs, they run the football clubs. They did the manager's job that we now have, and they did the sporting director's job. Of course, Michael Edwards was a massive part of it. Liverpool not being run as well, they're not recruiting as well, they're not doing as well since he left. And of course they're not, because he's one of the best, maybe the best in the business. So of course there was going to be a drop-off. Arteta broke Klopp, is what Daniel says here.
Relax yourself, bro.
Low cars are easy tell, just swing yourself in. Now, Jeff, I do, but it's when I drive for like an hour or so, I get out and the cracks that go down my back, I love it. I do love the car though. The car is nice.
Gone, people. Terry's hips are gone.
Mate, the hips don't lie, as they say. You know what I mean? I need these bad boys. I need these bad boys. Dude, Klopp is so accountable, not just FSG. I agree
That's
with you,
very
Omar.
true.
Yeah, of course
Klopp
he
is a massive problem for Liverpool right now because
Not a
he's being
massive,
stubborn.
a part of the
Especially for the transfer window as well. He
Agreed.
deserves a lot of accountability.
That man sat
Zane,
there and told
where
me that
is
there was
the
no one
energy for the
else.
poor performance like you did for Mane last season?
8 goals. Sorry, no goals or assists in 8 Premier League games in a row. I'm sorry, that needs to be called out. If any Liverpool fan doesn't call that out, they're fucking on the hype train and they've just got agendas, bro.
Hang on a minute, but
why are people calling out for that? That's
your
facts.
club conceded the first goal in like, nearly every game for the past 25 games. You ain't
18,
said
18 out of 23.
18 out of 20.
18 out of 23. You ain't said diddly squat, Zane.
I've said the players are
What you
tired.
done? Your
Let
wife
them
taking
get
your
back.
balls back?
Oh,
I'm telling you now, we're going to finish 2nd or 3rd this season, win the Champions League, and maybe our domestic cup. We're done, bro.
I wish I had your optimism, man. I wish
Man
I
United,
did.
History FC, they're going to finish 6th.
I
they're
wait one
done.
sec. I need to leave Terry. Big up for having me on, even though it's a Liverpool reaction show. But Zane, guess what? Where are you on the table? Because it's back to you. Back to life. Back
Where
to
does the
reality.
table finish?
For all
In
you
May,
fans.
bro. In
All you
April, bro.
fans.
Not now. So relax yourself, bro. Relax. See you
In a
later.
bit. Thank you.
I
Love
just
you,
heard a
love you.
rumor. Sorry, guys. Is this rumor true? So I heard a rumor. There's a comment. I can't find a comment now. That Mo Salah only completed 4 passes today.
Don't get me
he was
started on
dog.
that man today.
He
Do
was
not get
dog.
me started on that man today.
He
Honest
was
to God.
so dog. How can you get pocketed by Steve Cook? I'm sorry.
Steve Cook.
40-year-old Steve Cook. 40-year-old Steve Cook. I'm sorry. You can't.
Yeah, Steve Cook makes Zane look young, bro. Like that's how old he is. You know what I'm saying?
Steve Cook is
I
actually
don't know if you
31.
can see that.
31
Let's see if
years
it'll
old.
focus. That says 4 out of 6. He only completed 4 out of his 6 passes, 67%.
Again, that's on Klopp. That's a system.
£300,000. Jeez, that's not very good at
bargain,
all.
mate, bargain.
Not very good at all. 7 years of dominance as the second best team is what Twinny says here. Little Tom, I'm sorry I lied. Your era of dominance is over. Back to 30 years of mediocrity. Kaz looking good, bro. Hype for the match versus Chelsea. Yeah, we're not talking about that because then my life might come crashing down. So I'm going to leave that.
That's why.
I'm parking that till later. Don't forget, Joe has defended as a centre back on cover for Trent, the worst defensive halfback, in the top 6. Maybe we can sell you AWB.
It weren't even Trent's day. It was James Milner. And without James Milner, we lose 2-0. That's how bad it was.
James Milner in
has
his last 2 games has been good.
Fantastic.
He's been good.
For three games in a row, James Milner's been good. That's how down in the battle.
By the way, I think we all listen. By the way, there's a video I did on Tuesday. 6 national newspapers made stories about it. It trended across Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. But maybe Lee Gunner was right. Maybe Danny Welbeck is better than Mo Salah.
Easy.
Like, I'm only joking.
Ronaldo,
of course,
bro. That's all I've got to say.
what next, guys? Like, Rack, I want to ask you a question, Rack. How can you and how do you turn this around? Because if you keep performing like this, you aren't making the Champions League. There's no way.
Yeah, look, we've been our consistency has been inconsistent this season. I think everyone can agree on that. The fall off has been dramatic, and I know some people will sit here and say it's predictable, but it wasn't to this extent. It absolutely wasn't predictable. Like, people still thought at the start of this season the top 2 would be Liverpool and Man City, and whilst the people might predict a decline, the scale of the decline is unprecedented in this Klopp era. And people look at the season where Virgil van Dijk wasn't, got injured. Enjoy, Terry. We didn't have any defenders there. We've pretty much got a full strength squad at the moment, and you've got to ask the question of what is the reasoning. And to be honest, it's difficult because there's probably not one reason. Absolutely, Klopp. If you win as a team, you lose as a team, and that includes the management. Klopp has to take his share of responsibility. The owners have to take their share of the responsibility. For me, in my opinion, the greatest share of responsibility has to fall on the players, because there's no way in my opinion, over the course of 5 months, we had a team at the end of last season. I think the second half of last season we dropped 5 points. I think we 4 points. I think we drew 2 games. Yeah, we drew against Spurs and we drew against somebody else.
City.
To go from that level of consistency to this level of inconsistency is I don't think it can just be explained by Klopp. I don't think it can just be kind of by the tactics, and I also don't think, whilst there is some blame there, I also don't think it can be entirely explained by strengthening. The players just don't seem motivated. We're not getting when we were in our peak. We were getting to those 50-50s. We were there, getting there that inch, that centimetre, that foot before the opposition. Now the opposition are getting there before us, and that's the difference.
Can I say why, Rack? Because I think I saw last season. I think our players have played circa around about 60 games last season. Well, that's the most. I think that was probably Allison or Henderson, something like that. And then you have to factor in international football. They played around about 8 or 10 games. That's about 70 games of football in a season. These players are going to be burnt out. It's as simple as that. And it goes back to the transfer window. We didn't rejuvenate our squad. We decided to bring in Arthur Melo at last minute, which made no sense at all. We tried to go for Conrad Lima in the last day of the transfer window when he was available for pennies at the start of it. It goes back to the board, it goes back to the manager, and it goes back to everyone at the club saying that we didn't need a midfielder when everyone and their dog would say we needed a midfielder. It goes back to that. It's a simple.
I'm sorry. I'm not accepting that this season's utterly garbage performances are because I'm a little bit tired from last season.
No,
I'm sorry. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. You are not playing full pelt for 8 months. Not hardly anyone on that pitch today, out of that starting 11 today. Who's going the World Cup? Who's going the World Cup out of that starting 11 today? And we'll start. I'm not having bench players who get 10 minutes who will start, because for me, there's two. There's 2, and it's your goalkeeper and Van Dijk. That's all who will go. So guess what? You've got 6 weeks minimum where you can relax, where you can rest, where you can recuperate and get fit. So why are you not going hell for leather now? Today, not just today, this season, they have been lazy. They've been second to every single ball in the middle of the park. We were watching West Ham. This isn't just a Nottingham. West Ham, midweek. Did we win a second ball? Did we win a single second ball against West Ham? Did we win a single second ball against Forest? Are we winning any second balls at the minute? That's not because we're not good enough. It's because they're lazy. They're not. They think, we got there, and then, no, I couldn't win a Champions League final. I couldn't win a Premier League. Oh, no. I lost it on the last day. It's your fault you lost it on the last day.
And that comes under fatigue, mental fatigue.
Mental fatigue, exactly the point. It's a mental fatigue thing. Look at Arsenal now. They're struggling now. Mentally, they're struggling. Give it a couple more games, they're going to start losing. Because when you're playing, mental fatigue plays a main.
They're top of the league by 4 points. They've won 14 of 15 games.
Well, how long? How long, bro? How long?
Struggling. On what planet is that struggling?
5 games, bro. 5 games, and then we'll see.
Hang on a minute. And everybody said Thursday, Sundays is harder. You are chatting out your backside. You just want to be accepted by communist Merseyside. You mug. Arsenal are struggling. My backside, Zane. My backside.
Oh, my days.
Sorry, can I just say something? Sorry, bro. The guy next to me in the Liverpool shirt, is it Rack? Is your name?
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. So actually, when you mentioned about injuries that we've got a full squad, I disagree with that, because we actually went from a midfield crisis to having a crisis in our front line, because all of a sudden you've lost Jota, you've lost Diaz, who is invaluable to us, and then all of a sudden Nunes was out today. However, when we talk about the problems of the club, I don't think everybody's actually analysing what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know if you guys are aware. I think Tom knows. We don't have a head doctor at our club.
This whole thing about the doctor. What does the doctor do? Come on, man. Let's not.
Yeah, I heard a rumor as well. Man United struggles for the last 8 years have been because we don't have a club dentist.
No, Terry,
I'm in trouble.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is,
it shows club dentist ain't there anymore.
It shows there is issues behind the scenes that the doctor will be a small problem.
It shows there's one position that hasn't been filled. And sometimes people leave to teams, and then sometimes new backroom staff are recruited in mid-season. I don't think you can extrapolate the fact that you haven't got a club doctor.
Raki left in the summer. The doctor left in the summer. We had a full summer where we didn't have games to get one in. It's now
but what I'm saying is it shows there's further problems. It shows there's further problems. It's a small problem I'm mentioning, but what I'm saying is these are the things that we don't see. And I think this form shows that there are further problems than what we're seeing on the pitch. Because as we've mentioned, a team that's challenging for 4 trophies and doing well doesn't go to what they are now. This team is poor. Today, we barely created anything from open play against Nottingham Forest. So these issues are deeper and we're not seeing them. We're just seeing the small factors such as there's no doctor at the club or Pep Linda's tactics are playing a big role and all of a sudden. But clearly there are bigger issues.
No, but it's not clear. It's not clear. You're saying there's no club doctor. There may be issues. But we don't know that. You don't know that.
But how else do you account for a team that was going top 4 to where they are now?
I don't know, but I'm happy to say I don't know. You're extrapolating something that you don't know is true from that.
No, but you have to because the proof is there.
Guys, I'm going to interject really quickly. I think you've got a point, Kurdish. I think you've got a point around the overall running of the football club. Not having a doctor per se may not be the overarching issue because I'm sure they're subcontract to get out to somebody. I'm sure there's medical people there as an example, but there are some issues.
Terry, also, like, what is the responsibility of a club doctor? Right? People say there's no club doctor, but they don't actually know what the club doctor does. Who's responsible? Is the club doctor responsible for recovery? Is the club doctor responsible for all the other medical aspects? No, they'll have a narrow band of responsibility.
I think the club doctor might be responsible for getting those asthma pumps. And they're gone now. And they're gone now.
I'm not
what did Super Chat say? I think Zane has a point though. Liverpool went deep in 3 competitions plus the Premier League. It takes its toll.
No, because guess what? Man City went one stage less than us in the Champions League, so it's 1 less game in the Champions League and 1 less game in the FA Cup. So why have they not got mental fatigue where they're dead on their feet, losing to Nottingham Forest? They put 6 past Forest. We couldn't even put 1 past them.
We slapped the 1-0, bruv. We slapped the 1-0. So relax.
And it don't matter.
It don't matter.
We're behind Bournemouth.
They lost 6-0 and what?
We're behind Bournemouth.
We're going to be behind Bournemouth at the end of the weekend.
It's the end of the season. You should be doing this on the final game of the season when we don't qualify for top 4. You lot forgot what we did in the season when we had no defenders. We got 3rd. Chelsea bottled 3rd, bro.
And we called it out.
These man don't know nothing about football, about me don't know football. These man don't know that our players come the second and half will be like a steam train and Arsenal, Chelsea.
Guess what? Hold on, man. Guess what? They may welcome like a steam train at the start once, the World Cup's been and you got that breaking, look, we're back. Second half of the season, we're doing a title charge, whoop-de-doo. But you might already be too far cut off. Because we're that bad right now, we could be cut off.
Zane, all you're saying is you're accepting mediocrity. I want us to win trophies. I want us to win titles.
You ain't got no sense. If these guys have gone so deep, the mental toll that takes on you, not the physical, the mental toll. The reason why you keep saying, they're half a second late to everything, because they're mentally fatigued. Basically,
and that's when you transfer winner to bring in more players that give you that boost.
I'm not having this.
You don't know football. You're telling me. You're telling me the
Fabinho. We've got Fabinho, Henderson. They're sitting there in the middle of the park going, no, I can't get that ball because I lost the Champions League final 4 months ago. Get out of here with that.
Yeah, I hear it. Guys, God. Listen, gents, I appreciate you all coming on, having your say. I really, really, by the way, Haaland has just scored goal number 16. 17 more to break Mo Salah's record. But there we go. Listen, people, we are live after the Man City Brighton game. And of course, after Chelsea, Manchester United tonight. So make sure you're tuning in. To all my panelists, all my guests, all my super chatters, members, subscribers, and much, much more. Thank you. Smash the like button before you leave. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And Klopp is in.